for joining us today in the arena. My name is Shaun Dyke, managing partner with DoorTwo. Look, normally I tee up kind of what are we going to focus on right now, but I'm going to jump us just directly to who I get to sit next to today. This is Stephanie Au, my ride or die, as we call each other, partner in crime in this business. Just incredibly excited to have you here.
Boy, we don't get to do this often enough.
Rarely. So this is what I wanted to start with because I was laughing at this. Before we turned the cameras on, you came like blowing in the office, like panting, and I was getting off a call and there was just this harried space and you said, I'm just crazy. And I said, what have you been doing? What were you doing?
Gosh, I was just in Jersey in Pennsylvania yesterday.
Yeah.
I flew in, I want to say Tuesday, 4.5-hour flight, rented a car, drove 90 minutes, got there, chaotic mess. There was a fire in one of the hotels. No room, supposedly, for me. Wrong night booked, all the things, you know, travel.
No room for you because there was a fire.
Yeah, travel woos. Well, my room was booked for the wrong night. And so I was like, oh, please. This is when you learn to be nice to the people that are helping you. Please, please, please. What options do you have? So they ended up putting me in a guest house. So I had a living room, two bedrooms to myself for less than 24 hours.
Wow.
So
Good point.
So I stayed the night, came out the next morning, did 3 hours of stuff that we do with clients. And then I said, gotta go. And
hopped on a plane.
Drove 90 minutes from Pennsylvania to Jersey, hopped on a plane, 5.5 hours, got home last night. Yes.
The funny part in that is I would like to say that that's uncommon. But
and
that's
it's not.
Yeah, you, I, and many of the people that we get to work with, it's a common thing. It's all the things. I walked in last night into my house at about 10 o'clock. And I told my wife, like, you know, sometimes then I think folks think like, man, like, why do people work longer days or who really wants to put in that amount of effort? And I was looking at my watch and I was like, today was 17 hours from up till back in the house. And 2 hours before that, I was narrating into chat my day because I wanted it to pull it out because I wanted this yesterday captured as a reminder of gratitude. Even though it was insane, it was all the things, which kind of, that's the question I want to start with. Why would anyone subject themselves to this level of complexity and crazy?
Well, it's not work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a calling. I often tell clients, I've not worked a day in my life since I've joined this firm. And it's about knowing what you're put on this earth to do. And trust me, it was a journey for me to figure that out.
Sure, you weren't cracked with that knowledge?
Wish. Yeah. Would have been, a lot easier to figure out through that way. And it's just once you find your calling and you know your purpose and the legacy you want to leave, every day is just a day that you get up and you get to make a difference in people's lives. And it's fulfilling. It actually gives you energy. Even though you're physically tired, spiritually, mentally, you feel rejuvenated. Yeah. And that's what purpose can do for you.
Okay, so purpose, big, weighty concept and construct. And a lot of people, I think, make it through, in truth, probably make it through a lot of their life without actually having a full command or understanding of what the heck their purpose is. Let alone a reality that once I maybe know my purpose, now somehow I have to figure out how to live to my purpose in an authentic way. And we talk about authenticity a lot, and we'll chase that here in a minute. But that idea of being true to the purpose that I have recognized for myself. So let's start with, if we can, like one of the things that there are many things I admire about you, but one of the things I most admire is that you know it. So you've written about it, you talk about it. So talk to us, just what is your purpose?
So to get here, I also want to emphasize this, took a lot of trial and error and playing with what my purpose is. Yeah. So it was a few years in. And as I work with my clients on their purpose statement, they want it and they want it now. And I say, well,
20-minute exercise just to get my purpose figured out. Yeah.
Why is this taking so long? It's iteration and iteration and iteration before you land on your purpose statement. And when you do, it's an immediate aha experience is what it was for me. And so my purpose statement is to rekindle love and courage that's innate in us humans. And then the follow-up tagline is, because there's nothing more powerful than a human soul on fire.
Yeah, great line. Ferdinand Foch.
Yeah.
I just said that this morning to somebody.
Well, you and I like fire. It's a common theme.
We do like fire. Rekindle love and courage that is innate in us humans.
Yes.
Okay, so, but wait, somebody might say, hang on a minute. You're an executive coach. You coach business leaders as a profession. How are you rekindling love and courage inside of that space? What would you say to that?
Well, executives are humans too.
I mean, most of them.
Most of them. Some of them are robotic. Well, I would say, gosh, and it started with me asking myself, which we say it's reflective. It's a very reflective exercise when it comes to purpose, is what do I gravitate towards? What brings me energy? Children do. They bring me a lot of energy. And then I asked myself, why? It's because they are themselves, authentically themselves.
Yeah.
They were born in a world where love is innate and courage is innate. The courage to learn the most difficult things, to touch, to love, to see, to speak, to crawl, to walk. Those are all really hard things to do, and it takes courage. And they naturally love their parents. It's through life we learn, through our environment, through events, through our experiences that have us put on an armor to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we love a little less. We're a little less courageous. We're more fearful. We're more guarded. We're more numb in all sorts of ways. And I firmly believe that with love for your career, love for the people whom you lead, love for your life, love for your family, love for the world in general will get you to a place where you're more fearless.
Yeah.
And you access your courage to go get what you want.
Yeah. You know, it's, I wrote down a note to Chase that's something kind of fun I hadn't thought about. So courage would imply that there's a fear or an inhibition present that I need to push past. And kids are often born uninhibited.
Yeah.
They learn inhibition.
Yes.
So part of the challenge in this rekindling is helping people unlearn all the inhibition that has shown up in them in this process. I mean, not dissimilar on same reality that when we get to work with people, it's helping people identify those components that they have put in place. We talk about it in this podcast that there are so many unconscious scripts that people have that guide them. Like there is an inhibition present in me that I need to learn to press beyond. Well, need to learn, maybe benefit from learning from. And I guess that's part of the key piece, isn't it? To your point, it's helping people identify those and figure out how to press past those.
Yeah. Yeah. You always are at choice.
Yeah.
You always are at choice.
Okay. So that is a DoorTwo-ism at choice. So chase that choice for me. What do you mean?
Yeah. People tend to want to take a victim mindset. It's just easier, isn't it? Yeah. To blame the world, to blame events, to blame others versus taking accountability for yourself. And yeah, sometimes life gives you situations that aren't the best. You can choose. You can choose to stay in those situations or you can choose to do something different. That can never be taken away from you, that moment of at choice. Or you can choose to mentally wield more power in you, even though you're in moments of hardship.
Yeah.
That's unique to humanity in that we can overcome a lot of hardship and you're at choice. And when you realize that, I think it encourages you to lean in to love for yourself, to get you out of that situation, and the courage to do something different because you do have a choice. And you said it earlier, the thing with courage is it's not absent of fear. It's knowing that you're fearful and choosing to do somthing.
Right. It's not courage if fear isn't present. If I don't have to press through that, I mean, that's a game. Yeah. That's easy. But when there is a fear base or an inhibition or something concerning, which manifests in all kinds of forms, right? I mean, on embarrassment or humiliation or whatever that is, this
vulnerability.
Knocking at the back of your mind that shows up in that. It is in those spots. Okay, so tying this back, it's not a job, it's not work, it's a calling, the things I get to do, because I recognize that I've identified a purpose, that what I want to do, and then how I lean into that one. Okay, so identification of the purpose, it's time consuming. It is hard. It's an unraveling in a positive way and an unfolding of something that I recognize, like, man, yeah, I am not only fulfilled in this, but I'm also relatively good at it potentially. There's all these intersection points that feed into it. Identifying it is one thing. Now we have to figure out, how do we consistently and authentically, and I love your description of authenticity. And so if you'll talk to that, but how do you keep your character strength present whenever being authentic to your purpose, maybe somebody doesn't want, or maybe it requires you to be vulnerable, or maybe it feels awkward, or it's hard, or any of those spaces around it. How did you find that? So first, let me take that back or walk that back a bit. First, how you define authenticity, and then talk about how you stay consistent with that.
Okay. So, because I am a person of belief systems and commitment, and I asked myself probably at a very early age, why behind the what? Because it motivates me. Without that, I cannot commit. So because of that, I found that I needed to be me, authentically me. That grounds me in my life. And so my thinking of authenticity is my inside matches my outside. There's congruency. Yeah. I feel anchored in that. And when I cannot be that, I'm disconnected with the world, with my profession, with others. It started early on, Shaun, with my mom. She's also, love her to death. She's listening probably. And she's also one with conviction and belief systems. She sacrificed her life early. She probably finished the 4th grade. It was during the Vietnam War. And she was pulled out of school to take care of her brothers and her other siblings, start a business early, and survive. Yeah. And so when she, again, sacrificed her life in Vietnam to move to the U.S. for my brother and I, she did the best she could with what she knew, which was, hey, Stephanie, first daughter, you also need to sacrifice for the family. You need to be responsible. This is how responsibility and love look like, because that's what she knew. Yep. And I struggled with that a lot because I couldn't be me. She wanted me to be a version of me she thought would be best for me. Sure. And for the family. Yeah. So we fought, and in the firm, we say the most epic battles of all time is a persister to persister. Yep. Because if the two belief systems don't align, and when a persister believes in something, they lock in. Yeah. Then we're constantly battling each other. I recently realized it. I thought I was fighting for my freedom and independence. I realized I was fighting to be authentically me, not for freedom and independence.
Okay, a few things inside of that. At some point, we're going to tell the story of the trunk in the car, but we'll get there. So you gave a nod to, let's chase it a bit. On other episodes, we talk a little more explicitly about, you mentioned persister. And so persister is a personality construct inside of the process communication model, which sits inside of a workshop that we teach called Influence Through Human Dynamics, which helps you really understand like the complexity of peoples. And so you made mention to persister. So highlight reel, what do you mean? What is a persister, and how did that affect things?
The persister parts in us, because we have persister parts. Mine is just stronger than some. And the persister strengths is people who are there are dedicated, committed, conscientious, observant, purpose-driven. So when we lead folks that are persistent and have persister parts, they have to know the why behind the what. If you're going to motivate people, and we say motivation is part of leading people is you got to know what makes them tick. And for the persister, it's the cause, the why behind.
Yeah.
And once they buy it, boy, are they committed, because then there's no other option. And that's what drives me. And that's why I needed, I'll say need, not want, a purpose statement to really unlock my potential and my North Star of why I'm here. And authenticity, I realized, is my number one value. Again, did an exercise, self-reflection. I'm going to give a nod to Brene Brown. It's rare that you talk to me and I don't.
Yeah, that is true. I'm reading Strong Ground right now.
Good.
It's good.
Haven't started it yet.
That's good.
Yeah. Will, though. And she says, gosh, in life.
Wait, I just want to mark that. I'm reading one of her books before you are.
No, we were going to cut that part out. Winning. She says you can't have so many values in your life because you're going to be incongruent. And when you're faced to choose, what will you choose? And you're not going to be centered in self.
Yeah.
There's a lack of clarity there. We teach DoorTwo. When leaders want commitment, because all leaders do, they have to first have alignment. And before alignment, there's clarity. Mm-hmm. It's true for us too as humans. I feel that if you're going to be truly committed to your life and the things you want to do and how you want to be, you have to have alignment with self and you have to have clarity.
Around what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she says, you really only get two. I don't know how she came up with two, by the way. Two values that at the end of the day, if you had to choose, these are your two. And you're going to want to say family. Everyone puts that in there. And she talks about, I had a hard time crossing that one off as my two. And she has a process by which she does it. So I did it. And one of it is, when you're faced with tough choices, what do you choose? So I realized family is not my number one value. Mm-hmm. Because I will get on the plane, like yesterday. Yeah. I will go do. I will be present for clients. And why do I do that? And so I realized, one is, at the end of the day, if I cannot be authentic, I will not also work with clients. I have actually fired clients because I can't be me and they won't be themselves.
It just doesn't work in general if that's not matching.
It just doesn't work. And I don't do surface level conversations. I really prefer to have intimate dialogue at a party than go mingle with 50 other people. And I told you early on, I needed to be me.
Yeah.
And so I realized authenticity is my number one guiding light. I will gravitate towards people who are authentic. I will be energized around rooms that are authentic. I'm energized when I'm authentically me. And then the number two value was serving the roles I get to, because you're always at choice. I get to serve in my life to the best that I can. Those are my two values. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I don't know what my two values are now, and I want to go to the exercise. And it would be easy to drop family into that. And so that's actually really fun because I want to, what you just did is demonstrating something. It is vulnerable to say in this format that family is not one of my primary values.
Sorry, Jaden, Landon. Love you, Stephen. Mom, Dad.
But I think they would say, and we're glad it's not. They know, they get it, and they see. What do you say to the person, though, that says, like, identifying my purpose, living authentically to me, that feels selfish? What do we say to the folks that don't know how to create the connection between, that's one of the most selfless things you can do. Like, how do you help people navigate through that one?
I say, gosh, it's not selfish, it's self-full. Because if you're not whole, you can't give your best self to anyone else.
Yeah.
So it's self-full. I had to get over that. I really did. So I'm not sitting here telling you this because I woke up one night and go, yeah. It was a process. It's a journey. And I'm still on that journey, still a work in progress. So when I feel the best that I am in my own skin, I can be the best for people around me. And so remember, my number two value is to serve the roles I get to serve in my life.
Yeah.
The reason why that's intentionally stated that way is I don't always get to serve all the roles every day, all the time. to the best that I can. And that was also hard because in the world today, we're expected, especially women, to be everything and everyone around us the best that we can in the way that we are to serve.
Yeah, times 10.
You know, like you can multitask, you can be a mom, you can be a powerhouse of superhero, you can do all the things. And then for men is you got to be strong for everybody around you. That's sort of the stereotype.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me. I wrestled with that. And then I realized actually through one of our co-founders, Tom Shank, is the at choice. It goes back to at choice. Yeah. Today, you get to be so many roles. Not a lot of people get to be a mom, a daughter, a wife, a sister, a friend, a partner, and you get to serve all those roles. It's just in this moment, which one do you choose to be? Yeah. So if you choose to be a mom, you're probably not going to take that coaching call. Yeah. And that's okay.
Leans to the number one value we have in the firm is gratitude. Yeah. It's finding the gratefulness around that. Okay, so I love this. You'll like this. I think I just had a client tell me that the way he looks at it is for people in his life, he says, I want them to experience that they are always the priority sometimes.
I love that.
And I was like, walk me through that again. But that's the place, right?
Yes.
That they are always the priority sometimes. Yes. This realization that it can't be all the time. But when you are, and when I can, and when we do, I am here, I'm present, I'm in that space with you. So many things I want to chase around that. Okay, let's go back to the authenticity piece, your ability to do that. That comes with trade-offs.
Yes.
That has a cost in that. So I said I wanted to do it. So you have to at least just tee up the first one, the car story, which I think is kind of fun, on recognizing when you choose to demonstrate and activate that which is authentically you, maybe in a little less refined way in our youth, how it shows up. But let's start with that one for fun, and then talk through how you work through those trade-offs and the costs in being authentic. It doesn't come without a cost.
Yeah. I was probably early on wanting to make choices for myself, and maybe I wasn't as equipped at times at 4.
Wait, what?
I wanted to choose my own things at 4. My mom tells me. Yeah. So I think I was 16, and this goes back to commitment. And when I was, I'll go back to when I was 15, anticipating driving, right? One of the things you really want to do. My kids don't care about driving. They say I force them to drive, and that's probably true because they're Ubers nowadays. But back then, driving added to more freedom, more independence, things you can do on your own. And so my mom said, hey, when you turn 16, there's this beautiful Honda Accord, navy blue 4-door, sitting on the driveway, waiting for you. Wow. Great. That's a commitment. Okay, so I practiced, I studied. On my birthday, I already signed up at the DMV. Did that all on my own, by the way.
Not surprised.
Showed up at the DMV with my dad, sort of sweet talked the person that I was with, and he passed me because I don't think I parallel parked really well, by the way, but he felt sorry for me and passed me. And then I was so excited for my car. It came with conditions. So when
things like that often do as a parent?
Yes.
Yes.
So when you listen to me and be the person I want you to be, you get the keys to the car. When you don't, I take the keys to the car. Ooh. I was like, oh, no.
I can see that going well.
That is not the commitment we had. That's not the agreement we had. So then I took it to myself to say, if you're going to take my car, I'm going to take yours, Mom. So one day, her beautiful Camry that she loved, I stole it or borrowed it. You know what? I borrowed it because she borrowed mine.
She took your car.
Because she took the keys away.
So you took her car.
Yes.
Turnabout's fair play. This is how this works. That's fine, right?
Yeah, we had an agreement. She broke the agreement in my book.
So it's a 15-year-old.
16 now.
16. Oh, driving. So significantly more grown up. We acquired her car. Okay, good.
Yes. And so I take it and I call her from a payphone. This dates me. And I say, hey, Mom, you took my car, so I took yours. It's only fair. So I'd like my car back, please. So if you leave the keys in the mailbox, I will come pick it up at some point in the next 24 hours, and I will give you back your car. It's just what we agreed on. And then we showed up, me, my bestie, my boyfriend, ex-husband. Don't need to go in that right now.
We'll chase that later.
And his bestie, the four of us show up to get my car. We were just going to swap. I was going to leave her car on the driveway. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. And
we're just going to roll in, drop her car, grab your car.
And go. Yeah. That's it. I still don't know how long she was in the trunk for. I get out with my girlfriend. Okay. So Nan and his bestie was in their car. We both get out. Kim, at the time, runs up to my car. My mom opens the trunk.
From inside the trunk.
Inside the trunk. Takes a belt and proceeds to tie up my bestie, Kim. And I was like, oh.
She took your best friend hostage.
Yes, she did.
As one does.
But as a persister, she probably thought, this is justified because you took my car, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing with persisters. We will justify our behaviors. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, let her go. This is about me and you. Again, persister commitment to values and friendship and nothing to do with her. I said, if you let her go, I'll stay. And so she lets Kim go. And I said, hey, we had this conversation. And she's like, you can't take my car. And I said, well, you can't take my car. This is my car. We agreed to that.
Persister battles. Epic.
Yes. And I said, you can call the cops on me. That's fine. But I'm going to do this. So it's your choice. What do you want to do? Fearless.
Yeah.
When you're locked into your values.
Well, because you believe you are right.
You don't believe. Was right.
Oh, you know you are right. Yeah.
At 16.
Yeah.
And so, come on now.
Got it all figured out.
And she thought about it. And she's like, my dad said, you just let her go. Just let her go. Let her take her car. And she did.
Yeah.
And so I drove away with my car.
Yeah.
But that happened at 16.
Early practices of learning to stand our ground. So here's the question. Sometimes we recognize that we have to stand our ground on something that we believe in and know. Mm-hmm. There are ways we can do that don't go as incredibly well. And I have witnessed, I actually get counsel from you and all the time on how to do this. How have you learned to stand your ground with grace?
Mm-hmm. It's through those moments.
Yeah.
It's through reflection on, oh, was that a good thing? And I have a value for people. So when I'm all, we'll call it persistery, and driving my belief system, am I seeing the other person? There's a quote that we use and we teach in our workshop that is addressing persisters. Do you want to be right? Because here's the thing about persisters.
Yeah.
We're often right. Do you want to be right, or do you want to get what you want? Getting what you want is the relationship, the connection, the fact that your kids want to talk to you, the fact that your kids want to be with you and can be themselves. So I asked myself that. It's like, I can be right. And by the way, this was why we got a divorce. Now, there's other reasons behind that. Don't get me wrong. It takes two to tango. But my ex and I, it was oftentimes I was right. And he would say to me, I don't need a coach. I need a wife.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, he's right. So to get what I want, the relationship, I don't need to be right all the time. The thing is, you don't change yourself. You are a persister. You will. The strength of a persister, because we're observant, is we will find the flaw.
Yeah.
We will find the thing that, well, you could do this or you can do that better. You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stay with that thought. You'll still think it because you are you. And then you follow up with a different thought.
Yeah. This is counsel you've given me where, as I'm learning to embrace those character strengths in myself.
You're a persister in training.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. This is I think that one of the pieces that you said to me was like, number one, you're going to see flaw more readily. Number two, you're gonna have the courage to state the flaw.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges is how do you get better at inhibiting that? And I think when you tie that back to a purpose statement like rekindling
love and courage
that is innate in humans, right? That's okay. I can now see that congruence of getting my inside and my outside to match one another. If I tie a few things together in here on knowing your purpose and then wanting to authentically live to that, having those strong persister parts that in many ways help you fortify that. We love to say that those with strong persister parts can stand in a strong wind because their conviction is so strong they're going to hold in it.
Yeah.
How do you stay intellectually and emotionally open to other ideas?
Not early when I was 16. Clearly.
Yeah, you didn't, right?
Yeah, I had to learn empathy. I had to learn other orientation, and it actually was more crystal clear when I landed on my purpose statement. Probably before my purpose statement, it wasn't as clear.
Yeah.
And coming back to love and courage allowed me to say, okay, I have a thought. They also have a thought. I have a strong belief system. They also have a belief system. Staying curious to what that is so we can find the win-win was where I needed to be in the work that needed to be done. And I have to say, joining this firm really helped anchor all of that.
You're surrounded by it constantly.
Yeah. And so I'm not always great at it, okay, I disagree. Let me hear the other side because I do care about this person. This person is a person who has needs and wants like me.
Yeah.
And how do I honor that in a way that I see and hear them?
All right, Steph. So I'm going to dog ear this conversation because we can't chase this one today. But one of the things that I want to explore at some point in time is when you look at the current state of society and you look at the tendency to blame, complain, justify, other orient your problems, get entrenched in a well-formed and understandably and justifiably logic line, but it is counter to some of those around you. The adversarial, the oppositional, the antagonistic viewpoints that tend to manifest so prominently today. These are persister to persister battles that are happening all over the place.
Yeah.
And the ability to bring grace and curiosity present to those is, man, we need that. So we're going to dog ear that, and we're going to talk about that one for another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have us wrap with sort of two things. If you're in a headspace and number one, you're thinking, gosh, I would love to find my purpose statement. I don't know what it is and I'm adrift. What do I do? Second one for you to try to tackle is if someone out there does know their purpose statement and they're trying to live more authentically toward it, what advice would you give to those two?
Gosh, first answer is call DoorTwo. I mean, we do
We can
that.
help you.
We
That is
can
true.
help you
That is true.
find your purpose statement. So give us a ring or, chat with us. The advice I would have for people is, are you living the life you want? Are you feeling in congruency with who you want to be and how you show up? In fact, when we get feedback that is disconfirming to our own self-image, we want to reject that. That's when the blame, complain, defend, justify come in.
Yeah.
It's taking that pause and realizing, could that be true? It's not my intent. And it sounds like that's the impact I'm having on others. So if that's the impact, if that's not what I want, then I again, am at choice to do something different. If I want that relationship, I can choose not to have that relationship. It's still a choice. And if I want that relationship, that relationship with my husband, son, wife, whomever, your team, then there's a million ways that you can choose differently so that you're in congruency with who you are. And I'll tell you, once you find that purpose, that your true north, life is so much more crystal clear and joy is unlocked for you. Don't you want that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's to your point. It's a part of the conversations we've had on here. Hey, thank you for those. And I think a solid, it's part of the conversation we have on here is that perpetual journey of trying to realize self, figure out who I am so that I can be the best that I can be for those around me on an ongoing basis. 1,000 other things that we're going to talk about and we'll don't have time for it today. So just thanks and appreciation for you always. Love you a ton.
Love you
Thanks
too.
for spending time with us. And let's head out. I'm sure we've got something else we got to get to.
Get on a plane right now.
Yeah, that's right.